All right, what's going on, guys? Back with another video. Apologies for the last video. Apparently, I uploaded it in quite literally the worst quality that you could possibly upload it. I don't know how I did that. I made a mistake on that, so hopefully I can get that fixed for this video. And if the video you're watching right now looks like shit, that means I didn't figure it out. But without any further ado, we're going to get into a PSA preview video. Yes, PSA has been slowing down. Actually, my next PSA reveal video that I'll have on here, I'm pretty unhappy with PSA. But, you know, you can either get mad at the game or you continue to play the game. So there is if you haven't been paying attention, there's a tremendous bump in TCG value, specifically Pokemon. And I've had some Pokemon cards laying around that I think, you know, I'm into for $0. I've either had these for my childhood collection or bought them so long ago and made money on it that they're basically zero cost to me. So it makes no sense to not grade them. We'll kind of talk about them and why I picked that. And so that's why I picked my background. These are 3 of the Shadowless Hollows that I have. I'm trying to get the entire set, with the exception of the Charizard, in PSA 9 or higher. I believe I have the Blastoise and the Venusaur. They're only in 8s, but I'd like to be able to upgrade those at some point. So without any further ado, here's kind of what we're looking at. So first up, none of these cards are like super special cards. I mean, this is a common card from Neo Genesis 2000 set. This is like the 2nd generation of Pokemon, but they're all first edition. So I found a bunch of them. They all look really nice on the back. So I just went through and picked out the best centered ones I could find. So Spinarak, first edition. All of these I've put in my spreadsheet as I have them as a projected 9.5. So, you know, I'm still learning grading Pokemon on, you know, what can be allowed as far as the back goes. You know, little tiny touches of white and here and there. We got Gligar. So, you know, some of these I factored them in when I was deciding whether or not I was going to send these. I factored in like worst case scenario. My projected prices is all if they get, you know, PSA 9s or PSA 8s, or the lowest grade I'm assuming is going to get. And then just be happy if there's more. So Sudowoodo. These are all the Neo Genesis are first edition. Sunkern. Should do a better job of showing the back. My last video, my last preview video, I did not have an extended time period looking at the back, and one of the cards came back damaged. Not something I'm going to be able to argue or even really worth arguing, but I could have done a better job showing the cards. So Meryl, pretty sure that was a popular one when these packs were fresh on the market. Onyx, this one actually in PSA 10 is like almost $100. And it looks pretty good. I would imagine that's because he's from the original 151, so maybe people are a little more privy to those ones. So we got Onyx, Sentret. This one I'm looking at, you know, like top to bottom, not great, but I don't expect gems on all of them. And I need 20 cards to be able to take advantage of the $16.99 special, which I heard is going to go away. So that's why I'm trying to get this done. Shuckle. I did think about submitting with GameStop. GameStop is $18 or $18.99 a card, which just, you know, cuts more into the profit. And I first did the math on if I could find 20 cards, and I was able to get exactly 20. So this one in a PSA 10 is a nice one. I'm kind of kicking myself. I graded some Pokemon like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I had a bunch. I'd sent all the best centered ones of this card and the next few that are coming up, and I actually did really well. I got a decent amount of 10s. Totodile. There's 2 in this set, 2 Totodiles. I guess this one is the less desirable one. I don't know why. But I sold them, you know, at what the high of the market was, and now they're much higher. That last one's like $180 card, I think, in a PSA 10. Chikorita, Again, there's 2 of this guy, or gal, I don't know. Sorry if I misgendered the Pokemon. I believe the other one is a little bit more desirable. So I have 3 of these, actually. We're going to kind of test to see how the centering works out. They're all a little bit different. When I was factoring in, prices on this one, I was factoring in that I would go, 1 for 3. So maybe get 1 10 and 2 9s. Chikorita. These are all, these last 3 that I've showed are the Gen 2 starter Pokemon. So they're the equivalent of the Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander. So Cyndaquil. Except for in Genesis, they all have, like I said earlier, 2 cards in the set. This one in a 10 is like almost $200, or at least the comp I checked. Now, hopefully when these come back, this one's a real big boy if it gets a 10. I believe I sent like 4 or 5 of these in the last time, and I think a couple of them got 10s. I did pretty well on them at the time. I think I sold them for, $120. This, like, the last comp on this is like $260. Which is kind of crazy. Pikachu, obviously it makes sense. First edition Pikachu. So we're really hoping for, if this one gets a 10 and everything else gets a 9, I'm good. Whoops. From the Shadowless set, it matches these guys. So reminder, Shadowless means there's no border here, no shadow on the border. You can see all those. Haunter, nicely centered. I actually have a decent amount of Shadowless commons and uncommons. They just all have like minor chipping on the back. I think this one in a 9's like $35, which with 0 cost of acquisition makes sense to help me fill out the order. I think it's close to $200 in a 10. I'm not holding out for a 10 though. If you were into Pokemon back in the day, you've got this card probably. So Ancient Mew with a really cool little swirl there. Apparently the Pokemon collectors are very into swirls. So I don't know how much that increases the value. This one did have some surface scratching, light surface scratching. I can't remember where. But it's a holo card, both front and back. So I factored this in that it might get an 8. That was my hope, is that if I'm happy if this gets an 8. If it's a 9, it's even better. 8s are around $65. So we're cool with that. Cool looking card. I think those got handed out at the movie, the first Pokemon movie. Some older stuff. This is a Blastoise from the original base set, but as you can see, really banged up down here. Like I said, needed to fill out this order. You can see on the back too, it's definitely beat up. I have this projected at a PSA 3. It's got some corner lifting there. It's really banged up, but even in a 3, this is like $55-$60. I already have I have one of these graded an 8.5, and then I have a 9 an 8 for the Shadowless as well. So okay with moving this one. Couple more. Oh, need to remember to take this off. I pre-graded these a long time ago, so I have this Zapdos at a 6.5 plus, meaning I think it could go somewhere between 6 and 7. Back actually looks okay. So I'm assuming that means that there's probably some hollow scratches that, only so much you can do about. So for Shadowless purposes, you can see Shadowless versus Shadowed, or base unlimited. So 6.5. I'll remember to take that sticker off. Don't want to give the grader any help. This one, Wigglytuff from base set 2. So this is the same exact, this is basically like Jungle, Fossil, I guess it's just Jungle and base set. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Combined together for the second reprint of that set. So they're not worth very much. Even in an 8, this is like $30 or $40. So my hope is this gets an 8 at minimum, maybe a 9. My thought is that as the base set cards get priced out, people can't pay the prices that they would need to pay to be able to get them, but maybe they can get a nicer card from it's basically the same card, it's just a different stamp here. So Wigglytuff holographic, and then to round out the order we have a different Zapdos from Fossil. I want to say I had this one in like the 7.5 to 8 range. I remember the holo looking really, really good. And the back also looks pretty good. So this will be more of an experiment here, but you know, I like to keep the PSA orders rolling. I've been falling behind on them. So we're going to take advantage of the grading specials. They did just announce that their turnaround times are going up to 65 days, which is crazy. It looks like the GameStop move was a good financial move for them, not great for us as people who regularly submit, but you know, we roll with the punches. We keep sending in more, and yeah, rinse, repeat. So 20 card Pokemon sub going out. I'll film this when it gets back. If you have any thoughts or comments on TCG specifically or PSA, let me know in the comments below, and we will see you on the next one. Hopefully the video quality was better if you made it this far. I'm assuming it is, or if you're just like one of my 5 fans that follow. Shout out VDZ. Then thanks for watching all the way through. Peace.